Welcome back to Wolf That Media, episode 3 of Back of the Net. We've had some really, really good views. No comments as yet, but we had some good views, some good exposure to the episode, so that's good. At the time of recording, we've just done our Trivia Tuesday, so this is Tuesday, ahead of a busy Champions League, Europa League midweek. So in this episode, we're going to cover obviously all the Premier League games this weekend, just gone, all the scores, talking points, AI versus the pack, our results, go through the answers for the Trivia Tuesdays, have a quick chat about this week's second legs in Europe, chat about the EFL Championship, League 1, League 2 playoffs, who's involved in that. And then we can look forward to another AI versus the pack for this weekend's games. So let's get cracking. So if we quick take a look at the results of the Premier League this weekend, as you can see, great win for Leeds. That's almost saved them now. They should be good to go and plan for next season in the Premier League. West Ham suffered a heavy defeat to Brentford. Brentford are now in the top 7. They were top 6 until Bournemouth obviously got that result, but currently they are Europa Conference League, which is going to be amazing for that club if they manage to hold on to that position. Newcastle finally got over the line and got a win. It's their first win since March. Their first point since March. They were looking like they could potentially be pulled into a relegation scrap, but it looks like they're safe now. With 3 games to go, something drastic would have to happen for them to go down. So Newcastle can plan again for next season. Whether that's with Eddie Howe, we don't know, but that's a bad result for Brighton, which left the door open for Bournemouth and Brentford, both to leapfrog them into those European spots. Wolves grabbed a point at Sunderland. That red card made a big difference. Sunderland obviously not a lot to play for. They could have pushed for those European spots themselves because the gap is very, very small, and they still can. But their last 3 results have not been great. They haven't won in 3 games. So Sunderland, I think their main goal this season was to stay up, and they've managed to do that with where they can to. Really, they've done really, really well for themselves. That Arsenal result was huge. I generally thought they'd win comfortably anyway, but they really put on a performance. Arsenal were awesome and well deserved the 3 points. Fulham, they're what we class as on the beach for sure. Again, they're in that chasing pack for the European spots, but for them it's season done, I think. They're a bit of a mixed bag, Fulham. It depends which Fulham turn up, but Arsenal were incredible on the day. Bournemouth, they absolutely pumped Palace. Bournemouth are incredible. One of the best performers in the league. It's a shame that the manager's leaving at the end of the season. He's destined for a big job. The fact they lost 3 of their back 4 to huge clubs in the summer. Their recruitment is on par with Brighton and Brentford. They're out of this world, the recruitment that they've got there, and there's no reason why those types of clubs like your Bournemouth, Brentford, Brighton, their model works. It's clear to see. Obviously, they can't compete with the big boys, but the European spots is good. England have got more. Obviously, Brighton now in 8th currently, could still get a European spot if Villa were to drop out of the top five. But with the Europa League, it would then maximise up to 8 teams in Europe, which would be huge for England. Man United grabbed that win against Liverpool at 2-0 cruising. Liverpool came back through mistakes, but Kobe Mainoo pulled up the winner. What a turnaround he's had for his season. It's been a revelation. Amarin that actually go on and characters come in, because it's shown, hopefully, to Thomas Tuchel that Mainoo is available, ready to go for England. He definitely should be in the picture for the squad. Tottenham grabbing that shock result away at Villa Park has meant it's now back-to-back wins for Tottenham. Looks like De Zerbi's got them playing. Looks like they could be saved. Obviously, West Ham losing their game. The goal difference is obviously huge as well. Spurs should survive now, I think, with them getting ahead. West Ham's momentum has hit a wall with that 3-0 defeat. And Tottenham's games left, I think, are winnable games. So De Zerbi has definitely got them playing well, despite the injuries. So Tottenham are in a really, really good place. Forest beating Palace was again another shock, but Forest now that's 4 wins in the last 5 games. Haven't lost in 5. Scored countless goals. Whatever Vitor Pereira's doing, he's doing a world of good for that club. Chelsea are spiralling out of control. 5 defeats in a row now for them. Don't know what's going on with them. Obviously, with the manager gone, you had a little manager bounce type thing with the cup, but Chelsea go into a final with 5 defeats in the league does not look good. Chelsea have to be on the ball. They have to turn around quickly to get in that top 7, maybe 8. But maybe Chelsea want to do what Man United have done this season: play as little games as possible and then push for that top 3, top 4 next season. Who knows? But it looks like Chelsea might have to go out onto the transfer market again for a bit of experience, for sure. But what a great win for Forest. And as for Man City, well, they've let it slip now, and I think the title is Arsenal's for the taking. Obviously, goal difference of 4, like the swing there, makes a big difference. Obviously, Arsenal now have to drop points for Man City to catch up. But obviously, Man City have to go and win the games. But conceding 3 to Everton has not been great for them. Everton haven't really played too well lately. That's not only 1 win in 5, but Man City were on a roll, 4 wins in the last 5 games. But it makes it an exciting league. I personally think Arsenal have won the league now. I think Man City needed to win all their games, and it would come down to goal difference. But that's not going to happen. I don't think, anyway. That's in my opinion. So if we have a brief look at the table, as you can see, that Chelsea form is woeful. Teams like Forest, Bournemouth, Man City, obviously in the best forms. Burnley and Chelsea lost the last 5 at least in a row. Wolves have put up a fight, but like they're grabbing the odd point, and maybe they may not finish bottom. That'll be a bit of a boost for Wolves if they can leapfrog Burnley there. But yeah, look at Tottenham, Forest, Leeds. They've all got really, really good form at the moment. So it goes, yeah, it's definitely a race between Tottenham and West Ham, and currently the form for Tottenham and West Ham are the same. So it might even come down to goal difference. But great wins for Spurs. So that's the review of the weekend's games. Let's take a look at what that does to the AI versus the pack score sheet. AI have 6, the pack have 6. We were close on a few, but the AI was also close, but the swing was there. So currently that stands at 29 for AI, 27 for the pack. So we'll go again for the weekend's games. Hopefully we can leapfrog them, but again you can get involved in the comments below on the Friday video for the AI versus the pack. So turn on notifications for that so you know when that's coming up. So our new segment of Trivia Tuesdays was here. Let's go and see the answers for those. So here are the answers for the 10 Premier League quiz questions. So Man United, number 1. Number 2 was Arsenal. 3 was Alan Shearer. 4, Claudio Ranieri. 5 was Old Trafford. 6 was Shane Long. 7 was Arsenal. 8 was Kevin De Bruyne, but we will also accept Thierry Henry. They both have 20 currently. Next season that may be different. That answer might be Bruno Fernandes, depending if he scores one more, he'll level. If he scores two more, then he'll go ahead. So number 9 was Man City, and number 10 was Brian D. So well done to anyone who got all of those right. Probably your My Era would have probably got all of those right. Like I say, some very easy, some hard. It just gets your brain going. Let's move on to the Journeyman. Again, this one was fairly straightforward. As you can see, it is Sergio Aguero. So he started out in Independiente, Atletico Madrid, Man City, and then Barca. Yeah, that was fairly straightforward. But Tuesday's one is slightly harder, but I'm sure some of you will get it. The stadium was Leicester City. I think the King Power probably gave that away. But again, it will get harder as we go along. And the badge was probably also quite easy. You could have probably mixed it up with a bit with Notts County, but this was Newcastle. Like the magpie on the castle kind of gave that away, but so that was Newcastle for the badge. So there we go. There's the Trivia Tuesdays for you. So if we look ahead to the midweek Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, Arsenal and Atletico play tonight. Currently sat at 1-1 back at the Emirates tonight. I think again this would be a close game. I think Arsenal's win midweek would have at the weekend will put them in good stead for tonight's game. But also Atletico did get a good result against Valencia, so they're both off the back of wins and clean sheets. So tight. I think I'd probably just edge Arsenal on this one. So Arsenal to make the final. That's my personal opinion. The second game, which is tomorrow, is Bayern PSG. After that first game, well, that was one of the best games I've probably ever seen. That on par with the France-Argentina World Cup final. It was end-to-end goals, had everything. Some would say defensively, both teams were pretty poor, but football is there to be enjoyed. As a defender playing myself, obviously that would have been a nightmare, that 5-4, but for the entertainment value, seeing all the goals back and forth, especially with PSG get away with it and then Bayern come back into the game. I do think Bayern will have too much at home. Even if this was to go to the penalties, maybe Bayern will win on the night. But I think Bayern will probably progress because I think they have the better balance. And Harry Kane's on form. Yeah, I think Bayern to be an Arsenal Bayern final. That's my opinion. You can get your predictions below on what the final will be. Europa League. Nottingham Forest take that slender lead to Villa by one goal to nil. I think that's probably why Villa may have rested a few players at the weekend. Obviously didn't get what they wanted, which probably helped Spurs out. And obviously Forest turned Chelsea over, so again that momentum goes into Europe. I do think Villa will turn that around. Villa are a decent side. They may not end up being the best form of late, but I do think they have the quality slightly better than Forest. So I do expect them to turn it around again, even if it goes to penalties, just edging the game in 90 minutes. But I think Villa will progress in this game. The other tie, Braga take a slender lead with a 2-1 win at home against Freiburg. Freiburg, they've not been in the best form at all. The last 5 games have been quite poor. So I do think Braga will go ahead and put themselves in that final against Aston Villa. Europa League, Palace take that 3-1 lead away back to home to Selhurst Park. I do believe they'll have enough. Probably might have counteracted the fact they lost at the weekend due to resting players, but Palace should see themselves in that final. And I think they will play in Strasbourg despite the 1-0 defeat. Away, I do think they have enough at home to put this to bed. Even if this is via penalty, it might be a tight game. But I do think Strasbourg will go ahead and win, booking themselves a final with Crystal Palace. I do think English side will win both of those. Maybe not so much Arsenal of the Champions League, but Europa League and the Conference League, I do think will be won by the English sides. Moving on to the EFL playoffs. Those games are now confirmed as Hull versus Millwall, Middlesbrough versus Southampton. League One, this is Stevenage Stockport and Bolton Bradford. And then League Two, we have Grimsby Salford and Chesterfield Notts County. The Championship could have been a whole lot different had Wrexham won their game. Hull squeezed in to the playoffs, but then missing out. So we look forward to that game. I do think Millwall will win that game. They're the strong of the two, and Southampton are on a really, really good run at the moment. So I think Borough will struggle to keep up with their performance. So that in my opinion, it looks like a Millwall Southampton final. League One, Stevenage managed to scrape in on the final day, and they'll take on Stockport. But I do think Stockport have a bit too much. Their attack is a lot better. They're one of the best goal scorers in the league. But we have seen teams that have finished in the last playoff spot win the playoffs, so that's not definitely dead and buried yet. Bolton play Bradford. Bolton are a good side. I do think it will be a Bolton Stockport final, with Bolton possibly winning that overall. And in League Two, Salford, had they scored a goal, they would have been automatic promotion, but unfortunately that they didn't. Results were kind of in their favour. They just needed to score the goal, but they didn't. So they play Grimsby, but I do think they have enough to beat them. And the other game is Chesterfield Notts County. Notts County should beat Chesterfield. I think that they've got the better attack. So I can see that being a Salford Notts County final, and I do think Salford will get over the line and get promoted. So we'll obviously be back before they come back for their second legs or those to determine who will make the final. But those are my predictions. We have more AI versus the Pack coming this Friday, more trivia on Tuesday, and then we'll be back again on next Thursday for episode 4. Like I say, we've had some really good views on the first two. Hopefully, some more in this one. It'd be nice to get some comments, some answers from the quizzes, any suggestions we can do for the podcast. We're looking to expand it, obviously. If you're local to Guernsey, you can get involved. We're looking to build a team, looking to find a set where we can do our podcast from. Be nice to go around the pubs, give them a bit of exposure as well. Just give back to the community, people who like football, and get chatting. So yeah, enjoy all the midweek games and the weekend games, and we'll see you next Thursday for episode 4. So have a great week, and see you later.